So we've got two classes out on the track here. We've got the Super Light, the old Formula 3 class, pretty well same rules, and we've got the 125 250 monos there. They are on split grids, as you can see, but the flag will fall, the lights will go off, and they'll all start at once. And of course we've got the Honda medical car in there behind. Hasn't been needed today, which is great, but they've got fire extinguishers, they've got stuff that you might need for a first lap incident. I'm going to pick a jump start there for number 43, Neil Chappell, possibly. That's just what I saw, no one else was moving and he was, but the officials will organise what's going on there. They're all into turn one with Jacob Stroud there on the number 70 machine, the beautiful Kramer out there leading, and already that's a good healthy lead as well. He didn't have it all his own way in qualifying, did he? Or he did he? Hang on, I'm looking at the... Yes, he did qualify fastest. The first session he wasn't fastest, but he managed to pull one out of the box on this beautiful Kramer machine. So two classes on the track. The two strokes, the GP class, something they're looking at getting rid of in New Zealand. Some people are talking about it, but I tell you what, the indication is there's some Aussies there, 3 or 4 of them come out from Australia because they've sidelined the class over there, so that's how strong they feel about it. And there's plenty of bikes out there. As time moves on, we've got the GP 250 monos in there, and the more and more 4 strokes, including the beautiful Biggles Racing machines out there as well. Those Biggles Racing bikes are just outstanding.
Dr. Steve Bagshaw does a brilliant job with those IMD 250s, and just some of the key ingenuity that goes into those has to be seen to be believed, really.
Locally built chassis as well. Young Mr. Griffiths out in Palmerston builds the chassis and that, and the KTM engines, and they're now finding the engines are a little bit overstretched, so they're trying to get some more reliability into them. And great presentation, just absolutely lovely in the Biggles Racing colours, IMD. Steve Bagshaw, Dr. Steve Bagshaw, not a doctor of putting fingers up holes to check things. What has he got a doctorate in? It'll come to me. Whatever. He's a doctor and loves his motorcycle racing so much. Look at those battles on the 125s going on there. We've got to look out, and the first 125 is Jason Hearn there on the 11 machine. That's one of those Biggles machines. So when we say 125, it is the 250 monos as well, but it looks like Jason Hearn down the centre straight has just got gobbled up by another bike, whether it's, I think it's Neil Chappell actually, yeah, it will be Neil Chappell. So Jason Hearn, Yanni Shaw, followed by Christopher Malcolm, Dan Jenkins, then Jeremy Huddlestone, that's the 125 class. So right now we're looking out for the bikes going around that big Go Media sweeper, and it is Jacob Stroud on the Kramer. I think he got second in the Suzuki Series. In the Formula 3 class, same as Super Light, it's just called Formula 3 at the Suzuki Series, but he got second there. Possibly would have won if he didn't throw it away at Wanganui when he had a comfortable points position. He was battling with someone he didn't really need to. He learned a lesson there. You know, it's about the big picture, the championship, and in second spot out on the track there at the moment on the beautiful orange bike is Dennis Charlotte on the wobbly machine, the number 15 two-stroke. This is an NSR, isn't it?
I think it's a TZ.
Is it TZ,
yeah,
is it?
TZ, yeah, TZ 350, but there's not much TZ parts left on it, I don't think, so it's all a lot of handmade parts from Wobbly and the team there, so the Wobbly 400 they've called it. Yeah, so brilliant machine to hear. It sounds amazing, so definitely had some issues with it in the earlier part of the season, but it looks like it's running well today. So there we go, with Jacob Stroud out in front on the Kramer, but the Wobbly 400, Dennis Charlotte, Mega Motorcycle Centre and Underground Brown. The bright orange bike there in second place. You can hear it before you can see it. It's an amazing machine and brilliant stuff to see. Chris Huddleston on a Yamaha Formula 3 450 machine, so the disable cylinder off a 600. That's the bike in third place there as well with Kieran O'Neill. And Scotty Finlay up there, and that's the ZX 400 post-classic bike. So that's good to see Scotty Finlay up there as well on the ZX 400.
Yeah, he's running the number 77 and very adept at classic racing as well. Where is Scotty Finlay from? On the 77 machine? He's not. Here he is. He's from Auckland, Kawasaki. He used to race a Honda 4, I think, but settled down to the Kawasaki and very competitive. We've had a lot of Kawasaki's win over the years in the Superlight Formula 3 class. Great battle going in there in the middle. Chris Huddlestone, Scott Finlay, and I think that's Kieran O'Neill on number 18. You'll see that battle of 3 bikes going into the hairpin. This is the battle for the minor money on the podium, the third spot, and it's a bit like that Pro Twin battle. These guys are smashing it out all the way through the race and dicing. As I just say that, they've spread out for some reason. How are we going for lap records? Formula 3 is listed as a 1:10.834. We're running around the 1:12.3s. It's listed as set at the 2017 Suzuki Series. Again, that's a Formula 3 lap record, but the Superlight class is the same. So that's the information we've got in front of me. But right now we're a couple of seconds slower, and I think the wind's going to play something. Well, it's more of a crosswind now. No, I guess not. It is. It's affecting people down the centre straight and along the front straight as well. The gap between first and second, 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds, and that's actually closing up a bit now, isn't it, Brad?
Yeah, that is. That's definitely closing up. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Jacob Stroud, he heads into the S's on the Kramer, but Dennis Charlotte right there behind him now. So definitely not a lot in there, and still 4 laps to go, so we're only half race distance, plenty of time for Dennis to reel him in. Chris Huddleston still in third place with Scotty Finlay now up into fourth, but he's in the Superlight B, so we'll still call it the Superlight action. So he's sitting in fourth place on track with Corin O'Neill in there. That's the first of the 250s coming through with Yanni Shaw, an Australian D6 Motorsport Kalex 250, ahead of Jason Hearn in there as well. So that's your 250 mono 125 GP battle, and Yanni Shaw with a massive he's got an 80-point lead heading into this one, so easily the biggest margin we've got so far in NZSBK, and already out in front of this one. So definitely needs Jason Hearn to start winning some races to bring that title back into a full fight. But we see Jacob Stroud, and there's the wobbly 400, so that gap now as we wait for the timing to refresh and see if that's come down again. It's definitely visibly looks a bit shorter than it was a lap ago, so I reckon that that's going to heat up well and truly, that gap. Battle for the lead, and then Chris Huddleston, Corin O'Neill, and Scotty Finlay there, third, fourth and fifth on track. Yanni Shaw and Jason Hearn, sixth and seventh on track, but that is first and second in class, 125 GP and 250 mono class there. Same race, but different classes, so brilliant stuff. And you can still hear there's still quite a good buzz of two-strokes in there as well in the 125 GP class, so absolutely brilliant to listen to all that.
Yeah, I think Jacob Stroud's got this one sorted. He was still 0.2 of a second on that last lap, quicker than Dennis Charlotte, so that's just enough to Dennis can't close in on him. The other thing is Jacob went round in 11.9. Dennis's fastest lap was a 12.1, so 12.278, 12.429 for Jacob Stroud and Dennis Charlotte in that last lap, as we see, I don't know who that is going across the start-finish line. One of the 125 bikes. That's way back on everybody. Maybe they've had a problem somewhere along. Here we go. So the split was 1.7 seconds, as we see 2 laps to go. It is now 1.5. So Dennis is in the 11s. All right, the old dog, doing 11.965, I think, for Dennis Charlotte there as he closing in. Is there enough time? There is just 2 laps to go. There's 1.5 seconds in it. Is there enough time, you think, for him to reel him in? I don't see anyone down there giving any pit boards to Jacob Stroud. Doesn't seem to be any of his supporters down there. It's just run your own race, and of course Jacob will be able to hear this bike in behind him, but of course right now we've got a yellow flag at the hairpin there. Yellow flag at the hairpin, so no passing there. Can't see where that bike is, but
so it's just at the top end there, one of the Biggles racing. Yeah, unlucky.
IMD bikes, that's a bit disappointing. So the eyes are on the lead bike, and we are going to come across a lapper there. Just one lapper, I think, in the last 2 laps. I think they're going to have no problem with this lapper. It's going to be down the front straight there. The Toyota sign down the middle of the straight is halfway down. The bikes have already gone past there. They're into the Go Media corner. It's Dennis Charlotte in second place with Jacob Stroud, son of 9 times New Zealand Superbike Championship and one of 3 brothers here racing this weekend. Still holds the lead there, no problem. In fact, he might come across that lapper there in turn 1. So who's fastest now in terms of the last lap? We're going to have a look out and see who's the quickest one there as our timing refreshes there. It's Jacob, 1.3 seconds, 1.3 seconds. The last time Dennis was about 0.2 of a second quicker. So unless something, Jacob makes a mistake there, I don't think Dennis has got this in the bag, and he gets in ahead of that lapper, but that lapper has got the apex speed there, the lapper on a 125 or 250 machine in the different class. So Dennis going into the hairpin at the moment. The yellow flag's been pulled out of the way. No, I don't think we're going to have much of a problem for lappers. Jacob Stroud, there's 2 down the back straight there. He's not even going to get anywhere near those bikes. They'll be across the start-finish line and get their full number of laps in before Jacob Stroud takes another fine win, unless the commentator's curse gets in the way there, Brad Ritchie.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done a brilliant job so far. Led right into the first turn and has brought that awesome Team Lizard Racing shoes he supported. Stroud Racing Kramer, thanks to all the people behind the Stroud Racing and Mick and the team there. So that's in a checkered flag out and waving for Jacob Stroud on the number 70. So that's a win for him. And then the 15, Jenna Charlotte, he chased them all the way but was having to circle for second. And then we wait and see Chris Huddleston still holding in third place. That's a great little battle they've had, Chris Huddleston, Kyron O'Neill, and then Scotty Finlay in there as well. So there's Chris coming through the checkered flag. Scotty Finlay up ahead of Kieran O'Neill. So that's a great little result for Scotty Finlay. And then we should see the first of the 250 Moto 3 bike, the 250 Mono of Yanni Shaw. He'll take another win and extend his points lead even further. There's Jason Hearn in second place on the Biggles Racing IM 250. Brilliant stuff for him. And then we go to the number 27 of that was Campbell Malcolm there, the second of the D6 Motorsport 250 four-stroke machine. So your podium there for the 125 GP 250, Yanni Shaw ahead of Jason Hearn, and then Christopher Malcolm there in third place. So brilliant stuff from the 125 GP 250 mono with Jacob Stroud taking out the race win on the awesome Kramer 690 for all the good sponsors and behind him, Jacob Stroud, Dennis Charlotte, Chris Huddleston there in third, Scotty Finlay, Karen O'Neill in fourth and fifth in the super light class, and then Yanni Shaw ahead of Jason Hearn, and Chris Malcolm there is the top three for the 125 GP 250 mono. So it could be a double podium for Neil, but that's fine because we've got no more racing on the track today. That is our final race for the day, and we'll cross down to Neil with our race one winners.
Well, thank you. With no fuss and no bother, we're once again joined by Jacob Stroud. First of all, Jacob, you had to work hard.
Oh, mate, that's probably the most focused I've ever been on a road bike. I think, I didn't have any pit signals from the team or anything during the race, and my lap timer died on the first lap, so I was completely behind, and I knew Dennis was going to be there. His bike was way quicker than mine, and I just treated every lap like a qualifying lap. Hit my markers pretty much everywhere, and I think if I'd made one mistake that race, Dennis would have pounced. So we sort of rode a pretty good race there and thought we could use the start to advantage. We got away well and just got out front, rode our own race, and I guess that's why we're here.
Yeah, indeed. So enjoying this, Kramer, you're getting more consistency, you're getting better results all the time. Obviously, a whole team improvement.
Yeah, I mean, I just got such a great team behind me, and Rodney and Don from Eurobike and everybody that has got the bike to where it is today. My dad and everybody that has worked tirelessly over suspension and setup and everything to get the bike to where it is now. We still have our issues that everyone does riding motorbikes, and it still throws spanners in the works, but we're doing our best, and it's getting more results, which is great to see, and bring on next round.
Bring it on. Let's hear it. Jacob Stroud, another great performance. Well done. Thank you, Jacob. Well, of course, the race within the race as well. And that is for our 125 and having our 125/250 monos out there, or as we know them now as Moto 3 bikes. And welcome back, Yanni, to New Zealand. What have you done in the last 3 weeks?
I had a race back home in Australia. Yeah, we had round 2 of the ASBK, as you're aware. So It was good. We're on the Kawasaki 400 out there, so we're developing that, and yeah, so that's what I've been up to last weekend actually. So I flew back over here for this one.
Great to see. All right, so first visit here to Manfeild. What do you think of this place?
It's an awesome track. Yeah, really, really cool flowing circuit. I really like it. It works well with the Calyx, and we can really take our time and figure some stuff out. So it's a really cool track.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. Certainly, you know, some real tight, demanding corners here.
Yeah, the hairpin, the Calyx doesn't like the tight corners and it doesn't like the bumps. So we've got to kind of bide our time over them, but we can really open it up on those nice open apex corners and drive out of there, and that's when it really comes into its own. So it's got its pros and it's got its cons.
Yeah. Great to see you. All right, staying with us for the double header for Taupo next weekend?
Yeah, I'll fly back home and then fly back. Yeah. So got some stuff to do back at home in Australia, but I'll fly back on Thursday for the Taupo round, and I'm really looking forward to that. It looks like a technical circuit, and yeah, keen to see what we can do.
Great to see you. All right, what do you think was the secret of what you were able to do here at Manfeild? First time ever here. How did you found you sort of adapted yourself so quickly?
I had my Vegemite on toast this morning.
Oh, right.
So no, look, I'm lucky enough to be able to have ridden a lot of bikes in my short career and a lot of different tracks, and I think all that has come into play when learning a new bike at a new racetrack again. And you really just got to find your markers and push the bike to the limit in the first couple of practice sessions, and get onto a pace that you know is competitive. Otherwise, you've got no chance. So I'd say I'm just going 110% from the start.
Well, one of the nicest Aussies you can meet, folks, and he's here with us, Yanni Shaw. Let's congratulate him. Great effort indeed to win our Moto3 here today. Nice effort. Well done.
I just want to say a big happy birthday to my team manager, Jacko.
Oh.
It is.
What
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well done, well done. Happy birthday, Australia. There you go. Here. Well done. Thanks, everybody. That's a wrap for our day. Hope you've enjoyed it. Some fantastic racing. Man, have we sown some seeds for tomorrow. We've already got some lap records broken here today. I'm sure we'll get more. We've got an estimated high of 27 to 29 degrees tomorrow, so we're going to melt here at Manfeild. Should be a scorcher. Look forward to having you join us here for a great day. Courtesy of DHL Express, worldwide fast service to get your parcel, your little ones, your big ones, the best in the world, moving more parcels than anybody. DHL will see you here as fast as a parcel tomorrow. Bring it on. Penultimate round of NZSBK.